Welcome back to your 10-minute executive coach. I'm Paul Burke with Business Acceleration, and this channel is dedicated to those men and women who lead. Whether you lead a small, medium, or large team, this channel is dedicated to you and dedicated to providing you with tools and resources that you can implement within your organization to help you lead well. Remember, the tools we provide here are practical, relevant, and fast. Practical meaning it doesn't require a lot of resources to implement. Relevant, you'll get it. Your people will get it. And fast, you can change the culture of your organization, elevate the execution quickly. Days and weeks, not weeks, months, and years. That's what Business Acceleration does. We work with executives and leadership teams to help them bring these tools alive in their organizations succeed. Now, we're coming into episode 7, a continuation on our series of creating clarity within your organization. Just as a side note and reminder, normally when we do this with clients, it's usually on a 1 to 2 day offsite or 3 full day offsites over a 3-month period to work with our organizations to set up those leadership roles, to create this clarity, and then as we go forward in episodes of building those systems to build on that clarity. Today in episode 7, we're going to talk about what is most important right now. That's the question. Too often organizations are over-prioritized, and I hear it from all of the executives on the leadership teams, and whenever we do a survey, too many priorities. I don't know what's the most important. What are we trying to do? What are we working on? Where are we going? There's all these crises. This is an opportunity to create a rally cry for the leadership team and for your entire organization to focus on what's most important right now. This is a very, very thorough discussion you're going to have with that leadership team. And a lot of times they'll talk about what's most important, and that will be a symptom of what the real issue is. And that's why it's got to be a robust discussion with that leadership team to define what is most important right now, and how are we going to define this thing, this issue, this opportunity? It isn't always a crisis. A lot of my clients have come to a situation where our most important thing right now, our rally cry is stop these lawsuits. The company got caught in a whole bunch of different business lawsuits, and they created some defining objectives that once those were satisfied, that issue, that most important thing, was handled. And in that lawsuit, it was one of the first defining issues, settled the ones that are out there. 2, create processes, tools that are used to avoid lawsuits. 3, create an arbitration setup to avoid lawsuits. And they had several objectives that helped get these lawsuits out, and part of it was training in both fields and so forth. What is your most important issue right now? First thing, pushback. My teams always come back and say, well, everything's important. This is important. This is important. Remember, if everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. Let's help decide what is that rally cry right now that we need to tackle over the next 3, 6, 9 months, maybe a year, to get this organization where it needs to be. Now, setting a rally cry or what's most important now does not mean we don't worry about our day-to-day. We still need to make sure that we're tracking and managing our day-to-day operation. But this rally cry gets everyone aligned around one strategic issue. Again, it could be an opportunity. It may be you just acquired an organization, a big acquisition. And the most important thing right now is to get the integration done so it doesn't linger. One culture, one system. What are going to be your defining objectives to say that this is done? Well, hey, policies and procedures, HR, branding, themes, whatever it may be, that once that's done, we know we're good. Integrating our R&D departments, integrating sales department, integrating this, whatever it may be that defines as, hey, this acquisition is fully closed and operational. 5 to 8 defining objectives. Now, we're going to track those as a leadership team each week. And you're going to ask, is it red, yellow, or green? Or you want to go ABC, 1, 2, 3? I don't care how you do it, but you're going to track. Red means it's offline. It's an issue. We need to talk about it. Yellow, it's getting better. It's getting close, but it's not there. Green, it's good to go. So if that defining objective is green, we don't need to talk about it, do we? If it's red, it is a priority for that team to deal with during that weekly meeting. So now let's set what's your rally cry. And now, let's say it's top line sales. Everyone realizes we really execute well. Our customers like what we offer them. We're just not doing enough of it. We're not selling enough to cover our overhead, right? So our rally cry is top line growth. What do we do? What's the defining objectives? Well, we need to find new customers, maybe. Boom. Customer acquisition, new customer acquisition. We need to account penetration. We have 300 clients, but we can do more with each one of them. So maybe you say our top 30 clients, we need to double our business or grow into certain areas. And that would be an area for you to get top line growth. New products. Maybe you're developing some new products, line extensions, or services you're going to offer. We need to get that service we've been talking about for the last 6 months off the ground. That will help our top line growth. That's an R&D, maybe execution. So you have these different defining objectives. Hey, our marketing. We need to have a better customer acquisition or lead generation for top line growth. So there's one of your defining objectives. So now if you're getting all that done, wow, then you have top line growth. That problem solved. Now we get into the next problem. What's the timing of this? 3, 6, 9 months? It really depends on the issue or the opportunity. I've had clients where what's most important now, or rally cry, is a 3-month thing. It's this quarter. We want to tackle this and execute this. And next quarter we look at it. What's the next thing? We got it done. Boom. Then there's clients where it's a bigger issue. And especially when it comes to top line sales and they've had some threats in their organization or their industry, and they have to do a lot of things, maybe 6 or 7 defining objectives that can really build that top line sales going forward. And it may take them 6 to 9 months or a year. I like to target 3 to 6 months. These should be these kind of issues that we get solved. Get everyone's focus in the organization on what's important. Now, this is part, as I said, once we define this rallying cry, and we talked about having that weekly tactical meeting with your leadership team, those defining objectives need to be reviewed, asked and answered. How are we doing here with these defining objectives? Hey, top line sales, our example before. How's our customer acquisition? What's our standard? Should be a number. We need to acquire 3 new clients every week to where is where we should be, whatever that defining is. How are we doing? We got 1. Okay, it's red. We're not doing it. Or in the last month, we've averaged 2 a week. We need to average 3. Account penetration. Have we done that with our top 20 accounts? Is it red, green, or yellow? This helps that leadership team on a weekly basis focus on the rally cry and then focus their discussion in solving issues with those items that are most urgent, those that are in the red area. Maybe it's your lead generation. Lead generation is falling, or we're getting bad leads, or we're getting weak, whatever, not enough leads. That may be your issue. That guides us from focusing on what's most important now. And as I've said before, the reason we have a leadership team, the reason you get together and meet once a week in your tactical meetings is to make decisions that help your organization succeed, help your people succeed. So let's quick summarize what we're doing here in part of creating clarity. We started off by asking, why do we exist? Why do we get up in the morning and do what we do? Then we asked, what do we do? Really define our business. What are we, and who do we do it for? What don't we do? That's also a critical thing to ask. The third question we asked was, how do we behave? Okay, our core values. Again, remember the critical thing there was who we are, not who we want to be. The next question we asked was, how do we succeed? Remember, we talked about our strategic anchors. What are the things that are going to impact every decision we make? And today we're talking about what is most important right now. What is our priority? This needs to be updated as it is. Once that is solved, you move on to the next level. But again, we started off the first episodes on who does what. We built that structure of our leadership team. This clarity we're creating is critical. Remember, it isn't the clarity so that our organization, now that's important, our organization needs to be aligned around what this is. But it's most important, first off, that the leadership team walks out of this 100% aligned. Then we can take this to our organization and get them aligned with what we're doing, what our clarity is within the organization. And as always, everyone's rowing the boat in the same direction. You're unstoppable. I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care what the economy is in. And I don't care who you compete with. If your people are aligned, you will win. Now, our next series that we're going to tackle is building those systems, those human systems, that help communicate and enforce this clarity that we've created for the organization. Those will probably be 2 to 3 additional episodes. We'll work in on what kind of tools can we have as a leadership team, as an organization, that enforce those key questions we've asked over the past several episodes. Again, thank you for joining us, and lead well.